Hello my friends, it is Amy Esther here, and today I wanted to share with you the answer to a question that I get over and over again, which is, were you born with this, or how did your chronic illnesses start? So I was not actually born with all of these chronic illnesses, but they started one day. There was one day I was healthy, the next day I was very sick, and since that day everything has changed. So I wanted to share with you that story. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If it's your first time here, hit that subscribe button because I make videos 3 times a week about my life with chronic illness. I have several chronic illnesses: Hashimotos, POTS, fibromyalgia, endometriosis, PCOS, SIBO. I get chronic migraines, chronic fatigue syndrome, all the things we deal with here on this channel. So you're not going to want to miss any of my other videos as I talk about how to do life with chronic illness. And today I am sharing with you how this all started, how I went from being completely healthy and this perfect body to everything, seriously everything going wrong. If you guys have seen my symptoms video, you know that every part of my body basically has been affected by these chronic illnesses, and my whole body just went haywire. So it did happen one day. One day I was healthy, the next day I was sick. And there were a few things leading up to that that could have caused my body to react the way it did. So I wanted to start a little bit before, about a year before actually, before my chronic illness started. So a year before my chronic illness started, in February of 2015, I moved to China. And I lived in China until July of 2015, and I was teaching English, and it was an amazing, beautiful experience. I had so much fun, but I ate everything there, and it was so good. We ate street food, we went to strawberry festivals where we ate strawberries off the vine, and I just ate a lot of things that my husband, who we were dating at the time, he told me, you probably shouldn't eat that, you're gonna get a parasite or you're gonna get sick. And I did, of course, get food poisoning a few times while I was there. It was bad. It was really bad, the classic traveling food poisoning that people get. I definitely got that. But it was 24 hours there, 24 hours it was out, and I had no issues while I was there. And for lots of different reasons, I decided to start being a little more health conscious while I was in China. So I started eating a lot healthier. I started eating more fruits and vegetables. I started exercising more regularly. So when I came home, I had actually lost a little bit of weight. I wasn't ever overweight, but I just wasn't very healthy because I was a college kid who was just trying to survive, and so I ate very cheaply, and so I didn't eat super healthy. So when I came home, I continued eating healthy, and I went back for another semester of school. I was going to BYU, Idaho at the time. And this was in fall of 2015. So I went back to school. I was eating super healthy, like the healthiest I've ever in my whole life. I was working out with a personal trainer. I was extremely healthy. And at the end of that semester, my husband and I think it was the middle of the semester, we got engaged and decided to get married. And we are members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, which is a Christian religion, and we believe in abstinence before marriage. And so before we got married, I decided to get on birth control. And I got the Depo-Provera shot, and I have a whole video coming out about the Depo-Provera shot and how it ruined my life because it was seriously the worst time of my life being on that, and continues to be, because my opinion, because of that Depo-Provera shot, it just like totally threw things off. So the Depo-Provera shot is a shot that you get every 3 months. And it's supposed to just send in the hormones, and it lasts for 3 months, and then you're supposed to get another one. And I had talked to people who had no issues with it, and so I thought, you know what, I'm just going to try it. I didn't do any research about it, which I really should have. But about 3 months before I got married, I got the Depo-Provera shot, and it made me crazy. And you'll hear in the video I have just about the Depo-Provera shot, all of the crazy symptoms it caused. But the big one to me, and the one that I think relates to my chronic illnesses started, is that it made my anxiety through the roof. I have never had anxiety before at this point in my life when I got the Depo-Provera shot. and I was so anxious all the time. My moods were crazy. I was just up and down all day. I would just be crying over nothing. I was getting married. It should have been the happiest time of my life, and I was just like depressed and crazy anxious. Like, people would change plans on me and I would just scream at them. I was not myself. Like, I was seriously crazy. I don't know why my husband still married me. Like, seriously, I have no idea why, because I was crazy. Bless that little heart of his. Oh, he has a big heart. Bless that big heart of his, because I don't know how he did that. Anyway, so we get married and I said, I'm not getting that shot again. I'm done. If I've talked about this before on my channel, but just any kind of hormones really messes me up. So I just knew, I was like, nope, no more hormones. We are totally done with that. So we went on our honeymoon and I was still feeling the effects of the Depo-Provera shot. And it unfortunately did end up lasting about 9 months total, side note, but on our honeymoon, we went out to eat a lot. And one night we went out to eat and we were in Jackson Hole, and we got burgers and they were super good. The next morning we woke up and we both were sick and we had food poisoning. And so we're just like, oh, bummer, we have food poisoning. It'll run its course, we'll be good as new. That's what I thought. So about 24 hours later, my husband is totally healthy. His food poisoning ran its course. He's back to normal life. And it's been almost 4 years and I still feel the same pain, stomach ache every single day that I had when I got that food poisoning. So my food poisoning just threw something off in my body. And if you've heard my story, you know that I started with those stomach issues, and then over the course of the next year, it turned into fatigue and muscle aches and just debilitating symptoms that ended up making me quit my job. And so you can listen to my symptoms video where I talk all about those. And I have a video coming out next week, which is my whole chronic illness journey from this point that I'm telling you about till currently now. So stay tuned for that as well if you want to hear, what happened after the food poisoning. But I want to talk about why the things that I talked about today, I believe, kick-started that chronic illness. So my husband and I, we went to lots of different doctors and we talked to them about different things. And one thing we always brought up was that I lived in China. And so a lot of people said, well, maybe you got a parasite there and it just didn't kick in until later. And so even though I kind of don't think that's what happened, because I don't know, I think that I would have had symptoms a lot earlier. It was about 8 months, after I came home from China that my chronic illnesses started. So I don't think that's related. However, I mention it just because a lot of doctors said that there could have been some kind of parasite that we just didn't find that threw everything off. So that is definitely possible. But what I think is more likely, which is why I mentioned the Depo-Provera shot, is I think the Depo-Provera shot threw off my hormones so that when I got that food poisoning, my body just could not recover from it. And so because of that, it threw things off. My body started fighting against itself and I developed an autoimmune disease and several other chronic illnesses. My bacteria in my gut started overgrowing, trying to kill that food poisoning or whatever bug was in my stomach, and it just overgrew, which caused just a snowball of all of these other issues. And unfortunately, all of my chronic illnesses are chronic, meaning that they don't just go away. I don't get to take a medication and they are gone. Some of them have some things that doctors say will do that, but it doesn't actually work. I promise I have tried all of them. And so because of that, I have started this channel and I want to share with you my story and share with you what you can do about your chronic illness, because it started. That's just what happened. I don't talk a lot about the story about what it started because to me that's not really relevant. I can look back on that and say, oh, if I hadn't have taken the Depo-Provera shot, oh, if I just hadn't have gone to China, if I just hadn't have eaten that burger that night, none of this would have happened. But I can't dwell on that because there's a reason that I've been given this, and hopefully I can help you guys. And that is what I'm using as my reason for why I've been given this hard trial of living with chronic illnesses to hopefully help someone out there who is struggling. So that is how my chronic illness started. I am so curious. If you have a chronic illness, could you leave me a comment and tell me how yours started? Especially if you have the chronic illnesses that I have. I'm so curious to see if anyone has, like I did, where you just get a virus and it throws your body off, or you had some crazy hormone things like me. I'm so curious, so please leave me a comment. I hope this video was enjoyable to you. If it was, give it a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe to my channel, and I will see you next time.